UFC Vegas 92 just wrapped up last night. There was 12 fights in the Apex, and I got my butt kicked if you haven't seen already. But I'm going to be recapping every single fight, just going through the card from bottom to top. So let me know in the comments how you guys did on your bets. If you hit any big ones, let me know. And if you had a couple bad bounces like your boy, let me know that as well. Let's start at the bottom. First fight of the night, man. We had Vanessa Dumopoulos taking on Emily Ducote. Yeah, I mean, I really messed up here. I said that if Dumopoulos got to like plus 300, I was going to play her. I knew this line was too wide, but I still did end up staying off of it betting wise. And Dumopoulos, man, she got it done. I saw a lot of people really upset with the decision. I think it was competitive. I think it was close. Ducote did land some big shots. She is like the more polished technical striker, but you can't. I don't really think you can say it was a robbery because Dumopoulos was outworking her. She was doing a lot. She was, and the judges like to see that. I think that is like her style because she goes for it. You can be technical, but you got to make sure you're not getting outworked. And I do think there's an argument that Dumopoulos outworked her. So she gets it done as one of the biggest underdogs on the card, and we move right on. She does take that first one by decision. Next up, we had Haley Alateng taking on Kledson Rodriguez, and man, this one was pretty simple to break down. Kledson, he was coming out with some crazy strikes, trying to keep Alateng busy, so he couldn't wrestle. But man, Alateng came right out. A lot of people talked about, is he going to actually fight to a game plan? He tends to not. He did here. He came out and he got a takedown early and rinse and repeat. Kledson couldn't stop it, and that was pretty much the story of the fight. Alateng Ali just used his, a little bit of veteranship, came out and easiest path to victory, so can't knock him. Some people said it was boring, but hey, he did what he had to do. So Alateng gets it done. We move right on to where it started to get really interesting. Pierre Rodriguez, Ariane Carnelosi. Pierre Rodriguez was winning the fight. I didn't bet the fight. I considered a dog shot on Carnelosi, and that would have been a funny way to cash a ticket because in the second round, Pierre gets on top of her, headbutts her on accident, and the ref says something, and then she immediately headbutts her again. And look, I don't know how hurt Ariane was. A lot of people are saying she was acting. It's possible, but she couldn't continue, and that was a DQ. Would have been a funny way to catch a ticket, but I didn't have anything on it. I thought Pierre was winning the fight, but, it's a green mistake, and Carnelosi took advantage. So, hey, it's tough to be mad about it if you bet Pierre, but I know some people who lay 2-1 are. Next up, we got Abus Magomedov taking on Warlley Alves. Yeah, man, Abus did what he had to do. Came in, got the takedowns. Warlley Alves couldn't really do a whole lot, This was a bounce back for Abus, so, big important for him to get the win. And, he had some chances where I thought he could have maybe got the ground and pound finish, but, maybe didn't want to sell out for it. Wanted to make sure, the gas tank has been an issue, but, the gas tank's always been an issue for Alves as well. So it was a good matchup. The UFC knew what they were doing. Abus got it done, as I figured he would. We move on to another interesting fight. Melissa Gatto, Tamaris Vidal. I took a shot on Vidal because she was plus 300. I also had the fight go to decision. And the fight go to decision would have at least cashed. But, how do I put this? Vidal eats a punch to her chesticle location and cannot continue the fight. I have never seen that before, I don't think. What can you say? That was interesting. Should it, obviously not in this fight, but is that something I wouldn't know how that feels? So does that need to be like a groin shot for women? Do they need to be able to have a legal shot right there? I'm not sure, but was interesting to see. She was even holding an ice pack on it at the decision. That was interesting. But yeah, Gatto gets it done. You got to play lines like that, and that's why I'm kicking myself for not playing the Dumopoulos one. But yeah, unfortunate way to miss the over on that. But we move on to one that definitely did not go to the over. Umar Sy taking on Tokos, Anthony Tokos. But yeah, not a whole lot happened in this fight, man. Sy took him down, choked him out. Not a lot of strikes were thrown. He got him down, dominated, found the choke. Pretty much all there is to it. The next fight, though, had some interesting moments. Tom Nolan, big favorite again. And I had that little hedge spot, plus 650 Martinez by KO, and looked like I almost caught it. He eats a left hook, goes down. Thought, he could get finished. At the end of the day, bro, 6'3" is just simply too tall for the division. Like, people think height and reach is always an advantage. No, it starts to become a disadvantage. Move up, dude. Quit being a weight bully. But, he did find a big knee, ends up putting Martinez down, finishes him, same way he lost the last one, basically. So Tom Nolan gets it done, but a little dicey for sure. This next one wasn't dicey at all. Angela Hill versus Luana Pinheiro. Didn't bet it, but I was pretty confident Angela Hill. As confident as you can be. But hey, went out there and got it done, man. Dominated, finished her, submitted Pinheiro. The people were saying, or person a lot of people thought could submit Angela. Definitely a nasty mounted guillotine. Made Pinheiro look pretty amateur. Would say fraud check, but that kind of already happened for her. But, hey, you got to be careful building these girls up. But she is young enough, so she can still make the improvements. But the next fight, speaking of somebody who's still young enough to make some improvements, Adrian Yanez took on Vinicia Salvador. They knew what they were doing in this matchup, too, like the Tom Nolan one. Like I talked about on my breakdowns, there's like 3-4 fights on this card where they were trying to give people who have been on a little bit of a spell a bounce back, and that's what this was. Adrian Yanez was the much more technical fighter, but Salvador was, he was winging some big shots, trying to just knock Yanez's head off his shoulders, but, Yanez caught him, probably a late stoppage, but, Salvador was doing some escape, he was making some efforts to escape, but probably could have been stopped a little sooner. He was getting pounded. Adrian Yanez got it done, Glad to see him get back in the win column. This was a big step down. Salvador just not on that level yet. Big dude, hits hard, wild, reckless style, but, Yanez too slick in the end. But we'll see if he gets a step up, but they, need to be careful. Next up, we had Thimba Garimbo taking on Ramiz Brahimaj. It was about time for some stuff to start going right. I was really confident Thimba all week. He was my Derek Lewis from last week. I need to start doubling down on some of these guys I'm just so confident in. There was never a moment for Ramiz, really. I mean, he snatched up, he attempted a couple submissions, but other than that, Thimba a step ahead at the whole time. They basically had a grappling match. Thimba just put him right up against the cage. Ramiz would try to trip him, end up on his back. Just too one-dimensional, man. I respect Ramiz, everything he's gone through. Dude is definitely a fighter and definitely, hope, for nothing but the best for his health and everything he's been going through outside of the cage. But, he's just too one-dimensional to fight in the UFC against these guys. I actually think Thimba, as I've been saying lately, dude's really shown improvements, and I actually think he could be a fringe top 20 guy. So we'll see if he gets a little bit of a step up. I think he definitely should. He's on a run, but respect to Garimbo. Good performance. It wasn't exciting, but got it done. The post-fight interview was a little wild. Went a little crazy. I understood he was emotional and a little angry about everything, but you gotta kind of relax, man. This is this guy's mother. I don't know. That was kind of weird, but. The co-main event, man, Chaos Williams taking on Carlston Harris. Man, I took Carlston Harris. I thought Carlston Harris the better fighter. I still think he's more well-rounded. Probably could have just fought so much better. Could have done things so much differently, but he came out and wanted to just trade bombs with, Chaos Williams. We've seen Carlston typically go in with a decent game plan, do some wrestling. Not in this one, man. Came right out. Just slugging bangs, trying to knock Chaos out, gets clipped, gets knocked out. Man, it was one of those type of nights. I think it was my worst betting card of the year. if not, it was number 2 for sure. I've been killing it all year, but these are gonna happen. Just bad bounces, man. Carlson Harris came in and just tried to brawl with Chaos Williams. But Lerone Murphy, Edson Barbosa, I didn't have any bets on it, but I thought Edson would do better than he did. I knew it was a close fight. I figured it'd be really competitive, but no, Lerone Murphy, guess it's time for a big step up. He's still undefeated, 14-0, gets past Edson. Edson went after the legs a little bit, but too late. For the most part, he was just a step behind the whole fight, man. Honestly, just a good performance from Lerone. He's very well-rounded, still young. I mean, he's only 32. Yeah, I mean, he's got time. Hey, I'm interested to see what's next for him, man. The dude's clearly made improvements. Can't knock it. I mean, he looked good. He dominated Edson, so good win. Definitely want to see a step up. It was a fun card. I mean, I had some bad bounces betting wise, but I mean, honestly, you can't be lucky all the time. We've had a really good run this year. We're going to get right back at it. I'm excited as hell for UFC 302. So make sure you leave a like on the video. Click subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. Let me know in the comments how you guys did betting-wise. I will be back Tuesday for my breakdown for 302. Super excited for that card. It's going to be a banger. Until then, though, man, hope you made some money. Hope you enjoyed the fights. I will catch you guys soon.